Hello everybody, it is Steve, your friendly neighborhood lawn gnome. Welcome back to another video over here on That's Comical, and if you're watching and it happens to be a Wednesday, happy new comic book day. So before I begin this video, I just have to give you guys a very, very deserved apology. Today we're going to be talking about the highest grossing film, I believe at this point, in 2024, and also the highest grossing rated R film of 2024, and the newest installment to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Deadpool and Wolverine. The third and probably final installment of the Deadpool franchise, of course, starring Ryan Reynolds, and the biggest announcement for this film was the fact that we were going to have Hugh Jackman reprising his role of Wolverine. So back to the apology. I know that I've been a bit lazy in regards to getting videos up to you guys. I mean, I saw this movie in theaters back when it came out, and I just completely forgot to make a review for this for you guys, and I know you guys are still waiting for my review of Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom, but let me be absolutely clear. When you've got a 2-year-old running around your house, and when you have your free time, all you want to do is just relax, possibly take a nap, read a book, or in my case, comics. Just do something to ease your mind. Believe me, YouTube is the last thing on my mind when it comes to the free time that I have. Seriously. If you have young kids, go watch a few episodes of Bluey and you'll totally get it. By the way, I just started introducing my 2-year-old to Bluey, and I think my wife and I like it more than my daughter does. We absolutely think the show is perfectly brilliant. But back to Deadpool and Wolverine. So my expectations were absolutely fine with this film. I was just expecting this movie to be one hell of a romp for Ryan Reynolds doing what he loves the most, which is entertaining his fan base. And I know that there were a lot of people that were skeptical about this film because it was now officially owned by Disney and that it was going to be part of the MCU, and the MCU has not been so hot lately. Well, I will definitely say that if there is going to be any movie that is going to bring the MCU back to relevancy, it will probably be Deadpool Wolverine, and that might actually be it. I mean, I've seen the trailers for some of the upcoming movies, and of course, I'm going to keep my expectations not extremely low, but not extremely high, just anticipating a decent film. But Deadpool and Wolverine was wonderful. It was definitely one of my favorite films of 2024. Deadpool did what he did, and Hugh Jackman reprising his role of Wolverine was exactly what we expected Hugh Jackman to do. But I think the most important thing about this film was the fan service that was given to the people who came to see this movie. The plot of this movie is Deadpool did a little something he wasn't supposed to do back in the second film, and the fact that that was a great way to segue into the Marvel Cinematic Universe was having him get a visit from the TVA. So basically, that once again tells everybody that Kevin Feige lied to us. Yes, you had to have seen Loki Season 1 to understand what the TVA is. But the good news is there were very few characters from the Loki television series on Disney Plus that were actually in this film, so you really didn't need to know much about everybody, and we got a new character called Mr. Paradox. But basically, Deadpool was being given an offer to save the multiverse and get everything back to normal, and what he had to do was he had to find the one true Wolverine. So seeing Hugh Jackman come back as Wolverine was an absolute treat. The fact that we finally got to see him wear his yellow uniform, we saw that in the trailer, but there's a little more to that yellow uniform as it progresses, and we get to see a very interesting version of Wolverine along with a bunch of other versions of Wolverine, whereas there are people making ridiculous statements about how they are heresy and blasphemy, and I'm just like, oh dear God, go do your research and look at the comics. Yes, there are certain things that, unless you read the comics, you're not going to understand them. I'm a comic reader. I got everything that they did with the Wolverine multiverse montage. But there were also some other really big nods that we got in this film, because what this really was at the end of the day was Disney doing something rather decent, and that was officially retiring the Marvel films that were made by 20th Century Fox. So we got a lot of callbacks to some old X-Men films. We even got some callbacks to the other Fox films, and even one massive surprise for me, which we couldn't go too deep into, because of the fact that this specific character was a Warner Brothers / New Line Cinema project, but there was a very big connection with Ryan Reynolds, which is why he basically, I'm pretty sure, made sure that this specific character was featured in this Deadpool film. There were also some very interesting things that I learned about in regards to certain set pieces, even certain songs that were put into this film, and how Ryan Reynolds really went above and beyond to make sure that this movie that he was making was going to be near to absolute perfection. And also Sean Leedy as the director, I mean, this is the guy who did the Night at the Museum trilogy. So I like this guy as a director, and the fact that he went from a family-friendly film for me with the late, great Robin Williams and Ben Stiller to a movie like Deadpool and Wolverine just warmed my heart. And I absolutely adored this film. I don't think it's the best Deadpool film. I still think that the first one is the absolute best. But knowing that we have gotten, if anything, decent to horrible MCU films, there haven't really been many truly great MCU films since Avengers Endgame. I mean, I would probably think the only truly great film from the MCU post-Endgame was Spider-Man No Way Home, and just everything else was alright, and some things were just flat out terrible. But this was everything you wanted from a Deadpool movie, and everything you wanted from Hugh Jackman reprising his Wolverine persona, and of course, seeing Daphne Keane come back after watching her on the HBO series His Dark Materials, which is brilliant, by the way, seeing her be able to reprise her role as X-23, aka Lara. Also, because of the fact that Logan was one of the best versions of Wolverine we ever saw in film, it was a great way to get her back too, and personally, seeing how the movie ended, I would like to see Daphne Keane officially join the MCU as X-23 permanently. I would love that personally. So those are my thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine, guys. I'm sorry for the late review, but I'm sure that all of you who are watching have seen this movie. I can't wait to see this movie again. I can't wait to add this movie to my Blu-ray and DVD collection, and I am going to be giving Deadpool and Wolverine 4 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Deadpool and Wolverine, and I will see you in the next one.